continuing our 12-part video series on scenic areas in Utah. We're driving along Highway 24 to reach our new camping area. As we travel, the landscape turns from a replica of the moon and Mars to one of a coral reef with a kaleidoscope of colors. The campsite we're looking for is just outside of Capitol Reef National Park on Notom-Bullfrog Road, another very scenic road in Utah. There are no shortages of scenic byways in Utah, that's for sure. Although there are several places to boondock along this road, we're choosing a spot right on the rim of a canyon. What a view! Of Utah's Mighty Five, Capitol Reef is known as one of the more quiet parks. A few videos back, we drove through the lower portion of the park on the Bird Trail. This week, we're entering the east entrance to the park on Highway 24. Since this is the road to the visitor center, and there would be more people to contend with, we opted to enter a few hours before sunset. This also gave us a spectacular view of the colored rocks. When we were here driving through the park last year, we blew through this area. So this time we wanted to make a few stops we missed. The National Park brochure talks about how the park tells a story of people's relationships with the land. I'd have to say that about sums up what we're about to see. Rock art figures created by Native Americans can be seen throughout the park. But right on Highway 24, it's a great place to see several petroglyphs. The art is attributed to the Fremont culture, the ancestral Puebloans of the Four Corners area. The walkway guides you along several panels. Although not required, binoculars will help. Interpretation of the meaning of the art is up to your imagination. No one really knows the meaning, so you have license to create your own stories. Highway 24 gives you a peek of where Latter-day Saint pioneers planted thousands of fruit trees in the fertile Fremont River Valley beginning in 1880. These orchards are still maintained today. The historic Fruita School was built in 1986. This one-room schoolhouse served many purposes. Desks weren't secured to the floor, so the building could be used in a multitude of ways. Residents might be dancing, having a community meeting, or attending church. The last class was held in 1941. After that, the remaining students were bused elsewhere. We have one last stop before heading back to our campsite. This old cabin was the ultimate tiny home. It was built in 1882 to a very large family. It was only occupied by the family for 1 year. Local historians say the boys slept in the alcove above the cabin, while the girls slept in the wagon bed. This left room for the parents and the youngest children to sleep in the cabin. Wow, what a life! We're loving our campsite. We've let down the ramps so the evening breeze could blow through. The view was jaw-dropping as the light danced off the landscape. And if it wasn't enough, we were able to capture the northern lights with our phone. Sunrises are great here. I thought I was in heaven. My friend Diana and I had just had this conversation in regards to Boondockers etiquette. If an area is crowded and there's no clear campsite designations, you can park on top of us if you need a spot. But if there's room to spread out, do so. Boondockers like their space. There was lots of room here. But these RVers came in and parked within a few feet of our fire pit. Not cool. It's a new day, and I'm determined to find some scenery and restore my sanity. I believe in public lands being public. I never want to be the person who becomes so protective of a good spot that I won't share. People who use the area then need to be responsible. But I'll admit I was annoyed. The thing that really put me over the top was the heavy use of perfume of our neighbors. You see, I have MCS. It's a condition where people like me have an adverse reaction to toxins. And yes, perfume is a toxin. Take it from a canary. One of the reasons I love camping so much is it removes me from everyday exposures. We had to close up the camper and I lost my view and fresh air. And because now we have to run the generator for the air conditioning, they also lost some peace and had to breathe the fumes of our very loud generator. But we're back in the fresh air, and no one can be in a bad mood for long with what we're about to see. The trail we're taking today was close by and outside the national park, but was very scenic. We'll learn a few things today about the accuracy of our trail app. The name of the trail is Loop and Sand Wash. It's listed as an easier trail. When we see a spur that breaks off from the main trail, we just have to take it. It's been our experience that these little spurs oftentimes have an even better view. I suppose that's why they're there. This little offshoot did give us a run for our money, though. We kept hearing how the washes were deeper than normal this year because of the rain. Water is powerful and really affects the trail, and if it's a sparsely used trail, it may never have any maintenance to restore it. But in the end, the view would be worth it. After our experience in the OHV area near Hanksville, I had decided I don't like it when Julius are side-by-side tips. I've learned from our ballooning days to always keep your body parts inside. Your first instinct is to put your hand out. That's a bad move. The Hubs, he doesn't like it when wheels leave the ground and teeter. Yeah, I agree with that one too. We hadn't completed the loop, but we think we're done. Our app clearly wasn't very accurate. I'm starting to ignore the ratings on the trails we take unless it's rated pretty difficult, in which we wouldn't go anyway. I'm prepared for just about anything. We packed up and declared it was a successful ride even though we didn't complete the trail. On the way back, we stopped at the Notom Memorial alongside the road. And what about the rude neighbors? Upon returning to our site, they apologized for parking on top of us and explained that they were really tired when they drove in. I guess they just weren't thinking. Have you ever had a less than favorable experience with another boondocker? Tell us about it. If you're enjoying our content, please like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Next time you see us, we'll be driving Cathedral Valley Loop and showing you the stops along the way. Make sure and click the bell so you don't miss an episode.
Whenever I put my truck in reverse, I always think, this takes me back.